2 weeks ago, I posted a video showing most of my Haworthia plants. In the comments section of that video, my friend Ivy Rose, who also makes plant videos on YouTube, suggested that I should make a video on how to care for Haworthias. So here it is. Join me.
Liquid Amber Girl Gardening.
Evan, what is your favorite Haworthia plant?
This plant is African Pearls.
African Pearls. Isn't she pretty? This is Ivy Rose's page, and it's under the name Ivy Rose here, but she does call it Plants for Peace. And her specialty, well, she has lots of specialties. She has air plants, and she keeps these things super happy, guys. She gets blooms on them all the time. She also does house plants. She has a lot of house plants, a lot of cacti, and some succulents as well. And one of the things that she does that I really enjoy watching is she does different kinds of experiments, just changing up things. She does cutting. She changes up the type of soil or potting media that she uses, and she is really good about coming back and showing you an update and telling you exactly how it went, whether it went well or not. And I appreciate that, because then it kind of just gives you an idea, like, this is what you can expect if you try this. So she is kind of fearless in that way. She'll just try anything and she puts it on there, and you can see, and these are like her specialty. She does little like smiley face arrangements with cacti cuttings and stuff. Really cute. And if you're having a bad day, it's a good channel to watch. Something about the way that she talks is just really calming and quiet, and so it's kind of a fun little channel to check out. Now for some Haworthia information. I thought I'd start with the name. The name Haworthia actually comes from the last name of an 18th century botanist called Adrian Haworth. That's kind of cool. Tip number 1 for keeping your Haworthia happy and healthy is giving it the proper light that it needs. A lot of your succulent plants or cacti can handle or might even like full hot sun. Haworthias are not one of those plants. They're really actually better adapted to a semi-shade situation, because in nature they're found growing underneath like shrubs or other plants, or even under like rock outcroppings, and that is because they don't really want to have the full hot sun. Evie, what is your favorite Haworthia plant?
This pretty little guy is Haworthia cuspidata.
That's right. Tip number 2 for keeping your Haworthia plants happy is making sure that you pot them in the correct substrate or media. I first got the idea for planting my Haworthias in something other than potting mix from a website called Haworthia, the Gems of the Succulent World. That's done by a man called David Martin, and it is an excellent website filled with really great information about keeping your Haworthias healthy. So I'll make sure to put a link for that in the description of this video. On this website, this David Martin talks about different substrates and why they would or would not be appropriate for planting your Haworthia plants. First of all, he talks about just potting mix or organics like compost, and how those just compact too much around the roots. They just give the roots way too much moisture, which with Haworthias is never going to end well. You're always going to have rot, which destroys the roots, and that's the opposite of what we want for our plants. He talked about using sand or vermiculite, which hold way too much water, and again, that is not going to have or provide your Haworthias what they need to have healthy root growth. Crushed granite is too heavy, and it won't hold water or nutrients to help the roots. Perlite, which is actually pretty good as far as moisture retention versus holding too much moisture. The problem with perlite is that it will drift around when you water it. If you've ever worked with it, you know this is true. Therefore, the roots aren't going to be able to hold the plant in place. What David Martin suggested as the best media for planting your Haworthias in is crushed pumice. And that is because pumice, being a volcanic rock, it has lots and lots of little holes going through it, so it can hold on to moisture when moisture is needed. It will wick the moisture away from the roots when there's too much of it, and it can also hold on to nutrients.
Tilly, what's your favorite Haworthia?
The third and final tip for keeping your Haworthia plants healthy and happy is watering. Obviously, Haworthias are in the succulent family, and that means that they do not need or require very much water. It's important that you keep your watering pretty scheduled, somewhere between 7 and 10 days in between waterings. If you do have your plants planted in pumice or something that is super fast draining like that, it will really help if you accidentally give it a little bit more water than it would want. The pumice will just allow the water to run straight through and out your drainage holes in the bottom of your pot. I hope this video was helpful to all of you Haworthia lovers out there. I've included the links for the web pages that I used for information for this video in the description of this video. They're really great if you want information on plant ID or just general care, so I suggest that you go and check them out if you have any interest in Haworthias at all. I hope you all have a wonderful week.